In the tranquil town of Havenridge, a peculiar experiment was about to unfold. The Institute for Neurological Studies, a beacon of cognitive exploration, had been making waves in the scientific community. Known for pushing the envelope of understanding, the Institute was on the cusp of a groundbreaking experiment, promising to delve into the world of dreams and fears. The volunteers were a diverse group of individuals, each drawn to the experiment by their unique motivations and curiosities. Benjamin, an engineer with a knack for solving complex problems. His analytical mind was intrigued by the experiment's potential to shed light on the mechanics of dreams. Next, Mia, a psychologist with a deep interest in the labyrinthine twists and turns of the human mind. Her fascination with the complexities of the subconscious was the driving force behind her involvement. Then Ryan, a thrill-seeker, with a thirst for the unknown. The promise of venturing into uncharted psychological territories was an adventure he couldn't resist. And finally Sarah, an artist with dreams as vivid and surreal as her paintings. Her dreams often spilled onto her canvas, and the experiment offered her a chance to understand these nocturnal inspirations. Alongside these four, a handful of other brave souls also stepped forward, ready to embark on this journey of psychological discovery. Their destination? The Institute's state-of-the-art sleep chambers. These weren't ordinary bedrooms, but rather futuristic pods equipped with a revolutionary dream monitoring system. This system, a marvel of modern science, was designed to record, analyze, and interpret the dreamscapes of the volunteers, providing unprecedented insights into the world of dreams. As the sun set on the first day, Benjamin, Mia, Ryan, Sarah, and the others settled into their sleep chambers, their hearts filled with a mixture of anticipation and apprehension. They were to spend a week in the Institute's state-of-the-art sleep chambers, connected to the monitoring system. The initial days passed uneventfully, with volunteers sharing stories about their dreams during daily debriefings. As the week unfolded, a troubling pattern began to emerge. The volunteers, once excited by the prospect of plumbing the depths of their subconscious, started to experience nightmares. Not bad dreams, but vivid, intense nightmares that clung to their waking minds like a cold fog. Nightmares so real, so tangible, that they could almost reach out and touch the terror. It wasn't just the intensity of these nightmares that was alarming, but their content. Benjamin, the engineer, was plagued by a relentless dream of a malfunctioning machine, its catastrophic failure always resulting in his horrific death that would last for hours. Mia, the psychologist, found herself facing distorted versions of her patients, their faces twisted into grotesque masks reflecting her deepest anxieties. For Ryan, the thrill-seeker, his dreams became a never-ending freefall, a terrifying plunge into an abyss from which he could never escape, and the impending death looming. And Sarah, the artist, saw her vibrant dreams come to life, her reality and imagination merging into a nightmarish tableau. They were memories, fears, and subconscious desires all colliding in an uncharted realm of the mind. The dream monitoring system, which was designed to merely observe and interpret dreams, seemed to be doing something more. It was as if it had become a conduit, allowing the darkest corners of the mind to spill out into the light of day. Unsettling visions began to manifest not just in the sleep chambers, but in the waking world as well. The once familiar halls of the Institute morphed into an eerie maze. The volunteers found themselves trapped in a waking nightmare. Pandora's box had unleashed the darkest recesses of the human psyche. The question was, could it be closed again, or had the nightmares been unleashed forever? One night, the volunteers experienced a collective nightmare, finding themselves trapped in a distorted version of Havenridge. The once tranquil town was a nightmarish landscape, its familiar landmarks twisted into chilling parodies of themselves. The volunteers, already on edge from their individual nightmares, were now united in a shared horror. As their dreamscape crumbled around them, so too did their mental states. Desperation clawed at their minds as they realized the experiment had spiraled out of control. Reality and dreams, once distinct realms, began to blur into one. The waking world was no longer a safe haven from their nightmares. Meanwhile, Dr. Hawthorne, the mastermind behind the experiment, was fighting his own battles. The once composed scientist was now a figure of despair, his face etched with the lines of sleepless nights and mounting fear. He had dreamed of unlocking the secrets of the human mind, of pushing the boundaries of scientific understanding. But the reality was a far cry from his lofty ambitions. He struggled to regain control, but his efforts were futile. As the descent into madness reached its peak, the volunteers, pushed to the brink, made a decision. They would end their connection with the dream monitoring system, their only tether to the nightmarish world they had been trapped in. It was a desperate gamble, a leap into the unknown, but anything was better than the living nightmare they were trapped in. And so they did. One by one, they disconnected, severing their ties to the dream world and the horrifying visions it held. They emerged from the sleep chambers, their faces pale and eyes haunted. The Institute descended into chaos as the volunteers emerged from the sleep chambers and escaped the facility. The once renowned Institute for Neurological Studies was now a fortress of silence. Its doors closed, its windows shuttered. The once promising research that had sought to illuminate the mysteries of the human mind was now shrouded in infamy, its legacy overshadowed by a sleep experiment that had spiraled into a chilling nightmare. After the volunteers escaped, hoping for a break from the nightmares, however, their nights were still plagued by distorted echoes of nightmares that refused to fade, their days shadowed by the lingering dread of their nightly terrors.